ॐ मम उपात्तः समस्तदुरितक्षयद्वारा श्रीपरमेश्वरप्रीत्यर्थं विद्यासिद्ध्यर्थं च अहम् इदं पूजां करिष्ये। ॐ गजाननं भूतगणादिसेवितं कपित्थजम्बूफलसारभक्षितम् उमासुतं शोकविनाशकारणं नमामि विघ्नेश्वरपादपञ्चकम्। ॐ सुमुखाय नमः। ॐ एकदन्ताय नमः। ॐ कपिलाय नमः। ॐ गजकर्णकाय नमः। ॐ लम्बोदराय नमः। ॐ विकटाय नमः। ॐ विघ्नराजाय नमः। ॐ विनायकाय नमः। ॐ धूमकेतवे नमः। ॐ गणाध्यक्षाय नमः। ॐ फालचन्द्राय नमः। ॐ गजाननाय नमः। ॐ वक्रतुण्डाय नमः। ॐ शूर्पकर्णाय नमः। ॐ हेरम्बाय नमः। ॐ स्कन्दपूर्वजाय नमः। ॐ श्रीसिद्धिविनायकस्वामिने नमः। ॐ स्फटिकरजतवर्णं मौक्तकीमक्षमालाम् अमृतकलशविद्यां ज्ञानमुद्रां कराग्रे ददतमुर्गकक्षं चन्द्रचूडं त्रिनेत्रं विधृतविविधभूषं दक्षिणामूर्तमीडे। ॐ नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं श्रियं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ॐ नमो भगवते दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं श्रियं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ॐ नमो दक्षिणामूर्तये मह्यं श्रियं मेधां प्रज्ञां प्रयच्छ स्वाहा। ॐ ओंकारसिंहसर्वेन्द्राय नमः। ॐ ओंकारोद्यानकोकिलाय नमः। ॐ ओंकारनीडशुकराजे नमः। ॐ ओंकारारण्यकुञ्जराय नमः। ॐ नगराजसुताजानये नमः। ॐ नगराजनिजालयाय नमः। ॐ नवमाणिक्यमालाढ्याय नमः। ॐ नवचन्द्रशिखामणये नमः। ॐ नन्दितशेषमौनीन्द्राय नमः। ॐ नन्दीशादिमदेशिकाय नमः। ॐ मोहानलसुधासाराय नमः। ॐ मोहाम्बुजसुधाकुराय नमः। ॐ मोहान्धकारतरणये नमः। ॐ मोहोत्पलनभोमनये नमः। ॐ भक्तज्ञानाब्धिशीतांशवे नमः। ॐ भक्ताज्ञानतृणालयाय नमः। ॐ भक्ताम्बोजसहस्रांशवे नमः। ॐ भक्तकेकिघनाघनाय नमः। ॐ भक्तकैरवराकेन्दवे नमः। ॐ भक्तकोकदिवाकराय नमः। ॐ गजाननादिसम्पूज्याय नमः। ॐ गजचर्मोज्ज्वलाकृतये नमः। ॐ गङ्गाधवलदिव्याङ्गाय नमः। ॐ गङ्गापङ्किलसज्जटाय नमः। ॐ गगनाम्बरसंवीताय नमः। ॐ गगनामुक्तमूर्धजाय नमः। ॐ वदनाब्धजिदाब्जश्रिये नमः। ॐ वदनेन्दुस्फुरिद्दिशाय नमः। ॐ वरदानैकनिपुणाय नमः। ॐ वनवीरोज्ज्वलत्कराय नमः। ॐ वनवाससमुल्लासाय नमः। ॐ वनवीरैकलोलुपाय नमः। ॐ तेजभुञ्जघनाकाराय नमः। ॐ तेजसामपि भासकाय नमः। ॐ विनेयानां तेजःप्रदाय नमः। ॐ तेजोमयनिजाश्रमाय नमः। ॐ दमितानङ्गसङ्ग्रामाय नमः। ॐ दरहासचिताङ्गनाय नमः। ॐ दयारससुधासिन्धवे नमः। ॐ दरिद्रधनसेवदये नमः। ॐ क्षीरेन्दुस्फटिकाकाराय नमः। ॐ क्षीरेन्दुमुकुटोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ क्षीरोपहाररसिकाय नमः। ॐ क्षिप्रैश्वर्यफलप्रदाय नमः। ॐ नानाभरणमुग्धाङ्गाय नमः। ॐ नारी सम्मोहनाकृतये नमः। ॐ नागब्रह्मरसास्वादिने नमः। ॐ नागभूषिणभूषिताय नमः। ॐ मूर्तिनिन्दितकन्दर्पाय नमः। ॐ मूर्तामूर्तजगत्वपुषे नमः। ॐ मूलाज्ञानतमोभानवे नमः। ॐ मूर्तिमत्कल्पपादपाय नमः। ॐ तरुणादित्यसङ्काशाय नमः। ॐ तन्त्रीवादनतत्पराय नमः। ॐ तरुमूलैकनिलयाय नमः। ॐ तप्तजाम्बूनदप्रभाय नमः। ॐ तत्त्वपुस्तोलसत्पाणये नमः। ॐ तपुनोडुपलोचनाय नमः। ॐ यमसंयुतसत्कीर्तये नमः। ॐ यमसंयुताय नमः। ॐ यतिरूपधराय मौनिने नमः। ॐ यतीन्द्रोपास्य विग्रहाय नमः। ॐ मन्दारहाररुचिराय नमः। ॐ मदनायुतसुन्दराय नमः। ॐ मन्दस्मितलसत्वक्त्राय नमः। ॐ मधुराधरपल्लवाय नमः। ॐ मञ्जीरमञ्जुपादाब्जाय नमः। ॐ मणिपट्टोलसत्कटये नमः। ॐ हस्ताङ्कुरितचिन्मुद्राय नमः। ॐ हठयोगपरोत्तमाय नमः। ॐ हंसेज्वाराध्यपादुकाय नमः। ॐ मेरुशृङ्गतटोल्लासाय नमः। ॐ मेघश्याममनोहराय नमः। ॐ मेधाङ्कुरालवालाग्र्याय नमः। ॐ मेधाफक्वफलद्रुमाय नमः। ॐ गुहावासाय नमः। ॐ धर्ममार्गप्रवर्तकाय नमः। ॐ धामत्रयनिजारामाय नमः। ॐ धर्मोत्तममनोरथाय नमः। ॐ प्रबोधोद्गारदीपश्रिये नमः। ॐ प्रकाशितजगत्र्याय नमः। ॐ प्रज्ञाचन्द्रशिलाचन्द्राय नमः। ॐ प्रज्ञामणिवराकराय नमः। ॐ ज्ञानान्तरभासात्मने नमः। ॐ ज्ञातज्ञादिविदूरगाय नमः। ॐ ज्ञानज्ञाद्वैतदिव्याङ्गाय नमः। ॐ ज्ञातृज्ञातिकुलागताय नमः। ॐ प्रपन्नपारिजाताग्र्याय नमः। ॐ प्रणतार्थप्तिवाडवाय नमः। ॐ भूतानां प्रमाणभूताय नमः। ॐ प्रपञ्चहितकारकाय नमः। ॐ यत्तत्त्वमसि संवेद्याय नमः। ॐ यक्षगेयात्मवैभवाय नमः। ॐ यज्ञादिदेवतामूर्तये नमः। ॐ यजमानवपुर्धराय नमः। ॐ छत्राधिपतिविश्वेशाय नमः। ॐ छत्रसामरसेविताय नमः। ॐ छन्दशास्त्रादिनिपुणाय नमः। ॐ छलजात्यादिदूरगाय नमः। ॐ स्वाभाविकसुखैकात्मने नमः। ॐ स्वानुभूतिरसोदधये नमः। ॐ स्वाराज्यसम्पदध्यक्षाय नमः। ॐ स्वात्माराममहामतये नमः। ॐ हाटकावजटाजूटाय नमः। ॐ हासोदस्तारिमण्डलाय नमः। ॐ हालाहलोज्ज्वलगलाय नमः। ॐ हार्दग्रन्थिविमोचकाय नमः। ॐ श्रीमेधादक्षिणामूर्तिस्वामिने नमः। ॐ श्री दयानन्दसद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ श्री महेशानन्दसद्गुरवे नमः। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। गुकारस्त्वन्धकारो वै ऋकारस्त्वन्निवर्तकः अन्धकारनिरोधित्वात् गुरुरित्यभिधीयते। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवद्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्म वदिष्यामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। यश्छन्दसामृषभो विश्वरूपः छन्दोभ्योऽध्यमृतात् सम्बभूव समेन्द्रो मेधया आस्पृणोतु अमृतस्य देवधारणो भूयासं शरीरं मे विचर्षणं जिह्वा मे मधुमत्तमा कर्णाभ्यां भूरिविश्रुवं ब्रह्मणः कोशोऽसि मेधया पिहितः श्रुतं मे गोपाय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। अहं वृक्षस्य रेरिव कीर्तिः पृष्ठं गिरेरिव ऊर्ध्वपवित्रो वाजिनीव स्वमृतमस्मि द्रविणगुंसवर्चसं सुमेधा अमृतोक्षितः इति ते शङ्कोर्वेदानुवचनम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। आप्यायन्तु मम अङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुः श्रोत्रमथो बलमिन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत्। अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मे अस्तु तदात्मनि निरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्म एधि वेदस्य मानि ईस्थः श्रुतं मे मा प्रहासीः अनेनादितेन अहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। भद्रं नोऽपि वातय मनः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येम अक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः स्वस्ति न इंद्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। यो ब्रह्मानं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तं ह देवमात्मबुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। Good morning, everyone. Namaste to you. Let's start the Alata Shanti Prakaranam that we had left off from last week. So let's do this. Let's chant 4 verses today. And I think that from now on probably we will not chant all the verses. The purpose of that would be the reason for, not purpose, the reason for that is that the way we are going to tackle is a group of verses and look at them conceptually, as Swami Paramarthananda ji has done. I'm following his lead on this. And so there, the individual verses and their word and sentence meanings are less important than the overall grouping of the concepts that we are going to do. And so for that reason, perhaps this is maybe not the last time, but we won't do this regularly where we chant all the verses. But today let us do it. So on the 4th chapter, Alata Shanti Prakaranam, and I think you have the text for that, let us chant 4 verses starting with number 10, 11, 12 and 13, which we are going to do today. So let's do that. Number 10. Jara Marana Nirmuktaha. Jara Marana Nirmuktaha Sarve Dharmaha Swabhavataha Jara Maranamichantaha Chavante Tanmanishaya कारणयस्य वै कार्यं कारणं तस्य जायते जायमानं कथम् अजं भिन्नं नित्यं कथं च तत् कारणाद्यन्त this is difficult कारणादि अद्यन्त्यत्वम् अतः कार्यमजं यदि जायमानाधि वै कार्यात् कारणं ते कथं ध्रुवम् अजाद्वै जायते यस्य दृष्टांस्तस्य नास्ति वै जाताञ्च जायमानश्च न व्यवस्था प्रसज्यते. Okay, so that's it. All right, so let's look at what Gaudapada ji is saying. So just to put this into a perspective, that number 10 says that my sense of limitations and mortality. So the word mortality is a good one because it captures the essence of what my life appears to be. So really everything in my life is an expansion of, not only an expansion, but it is enclosed and imbued with the sense of mortality. So the way I look at things, the way I behave, the way my attitudes are, It is all from the standpoint, I would say. That's probably a good word. My thinking is from the standpoint of mortality, being limited, having a beginning, having an end, and dealing with whatever comes, as an experience to me. This is how I look at my life. So Vedanta, the acharyas, Ishvara, Parameshwara's teaching, then permeated through Gaudapada and Adi Shankara and so on, it says this mortality is not a fact, it's a notion. We admit that you are imbued with it and you are behaving. I'm not saying you are a fool or anything like that. It is very natural that you're doing it, but please understand that this is not a fact. It's a notion. Notion means it's going to go away. It's going to go away because it doesn't have any intrinsic reality. It's really based on you, and you're just embracing it. This is the fact of the verse number 10. And then the logic behind this will be followed with number 11, 12, 13 and so on, which we are going to do in a minute. But the base of this thinking, the kernel of this thought, is captured very well in the verse number 10. So what it says is that, listen, you are embracing. So this word, I'll tell you what, it's good to review on this verse. So now you can see. So in fact, let us look at the words of verse number 10. So he says, Jara marana nirmuktaha sarve dharmaha swabhavataha. So the word dharmaha here means the jivas, the people, you and I. So those dharmaha, he says, swabhavataha. Our nature is that we have nothing to do with birth and death. Nothing to do with it. It doesn't even touch us. As it becomes clearer and clearer as we study. It's just a start with us, and this step has to be taken. And eventually we find, yes, this is true. What was I doing? I can't believe this. So he says, Jara marana nirmuktaha. Nothing to do with it at all. It is completely devoid of this factual change. All the dharmas. However, the second line says, Jara marana icchantaha. Icchantaha means that, chanta doesn't mean you desire. This is not the right definition. I think Swami Paramarthananda has, it's a good word. So he has done a very good translation of this. It's not, ichcha normally means a desire. Here means, so this is a present participle. Icchantaha means doing, desiring, if it would be a desired as the translation. But here it means attributing. It means just taking. Just taking. It's a fact of life. You know, people, you attend, every time you attend a funeral, the thought comes that one day that's going to happen to me. As you find the older people that, some of the older people that we know, they're making elaborate preparations. They're saying, I want this kind of a ceremony, don't invite that many people, this, that or the other. So they are going into the details. If you tell them you're not going to die, they'll say, I don't know who you're talking about. Okay, so let me plan. So icchantaha means that you are attributing jarana marana. So jarana marana icchantaha. Chyavante means you fall. tad manishaya. So he says, this is sometimes these words have to be interpreted correctly. Manisha really normally means wisdom. Manisha means that Manisha Panchakam. Manisha means wisdom. Here, however, it doesn't mean wisdom. It means following the thoughts that you have attributed. That means, like if somebody is starting to make preparations for their funeral, they are following the thought that everybody has to die and I'm going to die. And so this is the situation. So here, please make a note of this. This is an important thing to kind of capture as the essence of the Karika. All the Karikas, and especially the Karika number 3 and 4, the 3rd chapter and the 4th chapter. And so this should be kept as the central thought, and really the other things are included in this central thought. The central thought is this world, and you're attributing a sense of reality to it, was never born. The question, is it going to die, doesn't even arise. If it is never even born, then the corresponding ending of it also doesn't arise. Then you don't say, when will it end? And what will end? So here the very classical definition, this is why this is one of the most important examples that we should see, is the vision of the snake in the rope. And so the snakeness was never born. And if you look at it, so the same thing is true for our dream. And in fact, you know what is interesting? The same thing is true for when we go to sleep. You cannot time your sleep. You cannot time your sleep yourself. Maybe others cannot tell because your eyes are closed and you're not moving, you're not talking, so it looks like you're asleep. But there are people, and we all do it, where we lie very quietly as though we are asleep, but we are not asleep. So no one can tell when you fall asleep. There's no time beginning of it. And certainly that is not true for dream also. It just happens. Just happens. At least in the seeing of a snake in the rope, one can say the moment you see the rope, that is the time. But if you see the rope, you may not see the snake, you may see the rope. So anyway, the essence of this whole thing, if there's one thing you should remember, just worth pointing out, the entire Vedanta, and especially the wisdom of the Sampradaya says, what world are you talking about? We're going to take this, it'll be an interesting topic, because the whole thing about Purusha Suktam is the world's creation. Ultimately though, in fact it is going to come today also, the concept of creation is very preliminary. Swami Paramarthananda gave a great, excellent example of what do you mean by preliminary. What he sees by preliminary is scaffolding. So you put up a scaffolding to do some work on the outside of the home which is not reachable, very high, like painting or some repair work or something, or even building a home. So you need a scaffolding just to do something, and then you remove it. And you really, in fact, all the homes that we live in, especially the one that I have, which is multi-storied, scaffolding must have been used. Well, I don't see it anymore. So therefore, the concept of creation is described in the Vedas, but eventually it has to be dismantled. There is no reality to it. It's like the baby and the bath water. You give the bath water to the baby and you throw away the bath water, but not the baby. Baby is now fresh, smiling. And so the idea of creation is just a scaffolding. And scaffolding for what? Scaffolding for the eventual idea, which is really our goal. This is the goal of our life, really. You know, we the other day in the, I think it was in the happiness class, a couple of the students had asked about Antakarna Shuddhi, you know, the purity of the heart and so on. They are very initial stages of the scaffolding. That we have to cross over that very quickly. It's not much there. The main thing we have to do is to understand that this world is like a snake-like vision which doesn't exist. And for the purposes of prarabdha karma, it will kind of still be there. It will still be there. Swami Dayananji had given this beautiful example. I can never forget that. He says, you know, sometimes when you're reading a newspaper, and the paper is very solid, you're reading the news in it, the headlines, and so on. But supposing someone puts a match to this paper, and the paper is not completely burnt down, but it has become burnt with blackness all over it, semi-blackness. So the word Swamiji used to say would be like that, where for all intents and purposes it is gone. And in fact, he used to say this, that if you poke a finger on this burnt paper, it won't even have any resistance. It will just go right through it. There's nothing there. The paper is gone. Only ashes are left, and the semblance, you can even, Swamiji used to say this, he says it's fun to try to see this semi-burnt paper. The words are still visible. Even though the paper is gone, but the words are still there. And it's fun to kind of see, yes, this is all that will be left in the world. But so going back to the main point again, which we should remember, that that's our goal, really. All this Antakarna Shuddhi, etc. is all these are side shows. This we need to get over very quickly. But that's not it's not as though I'm going to spend the rest of my time just looking at the purity of my heart. Yes, did I have any bad feelings about anybody? That's not it. The main thing is that I have to see that the reality that I'm attributing to the world is wrong. I have to follow the directions of our acharyas. Say, no, it doesn't exist. And so the non-birth, non-creation of the world, destruction forget about. If it doesn't even exist, then destruction will automatically come. You don't have to worry about when is it going to go. When it's going to go, when you understand that it is never born, that's when it will go. So the birth and death are two versions of the same thought. The main thought we have to do is And through the sadhana, through the intense study, through the abhyasa, through yoga, whatever it is we have to do, that the world was never born. This is the central theme of all Vedanta, especially in the commentary of the Advaita Prakaranam, number 3, and the Alata Shanti Prakaranam, number 4. So keep that in mind. Now let us proceed from a logical standpoint how to support this viewpoint. So let us look into that. So that being the case, what is the case? The case is that the world is never born. It's not there. But there are various schools of thought that say, no, that's not true. It was born. It was born. It may go, but it was definitely started. How can you say it didn't go? So that's how the various schools of thought come about. 2 of those schools of thought are taken up right now. One is, as we've done a little bit from last week, but more today, one is Sankhya, and the other one is Vaisheshika. So just to look at from a theory standpoint as to what are the people saying, what is their viewpoint, it is important to understand what the viewpoint is, because that also becomes my viewpoint. If I don't think about it, that's how I also think. So there we saw as a revision the bifurcation of these thoughts into 2 segments. One is Asat Karyavada and the other one is Sat Karyavada. Asat Karyavada and Sat Karyavada. So Asat Karyavada, which is Vaisheshikas, say that the Karya comes, Karya means an effect, something, some creation, some created thing is called Karya. The Karya came out of nothing. It just appeared. This is what called Asat Karyavada. Means that it used to be Asat. It was not Sat, and now it has become Sat. That's what this Vada means, a viewpoint. Vadi, the word Vadi and Vada is used in our literature to indicate just a viewpoint. This is not when we say, so often you will see this, you should be aware of this when you're reading commentaries. This is sometimes called Purva Paksha. But Purva Paksha doesn't mean, Purva Paksha is a different thing. That means someone who is opposing your viewpoint. Right? So there's kind of like somebody who's fighting you. That's a different thing. Vadi means one that has some kind of a viewpoint. He's not opposing you or anything, but he has a viewpoint, which is wrong, but he has a viewpoint. And Vada means that is the viewpoint, and Vadi means the one that has the viewpoint. In relation to that, it will be called Siddhanti or Viveki. So Viveki and Siddhanti would be our view. Our view. So this is the word Vadi, Vada, and so on. So Asat Karya Vada means the viewpoint that the Karya is now Sat but used to be Asat. And Sat Karya Vada means, as we will see, this is the Sankhya view, that it used to be there before but now appears in a different form. And we'll go into that in a minute. So out of these, Swami Paramarthananda has analyzed the way the Karika is going. He says that the Asat Karya Vada, the Vaisheshika Vada, is much weaker. It's not very strong. And so as a result, it's easily dismissible. It's quite, it's kind of like childish. And so Gaudapada Acharyaji doesn't put a lot of attention to it. And in fact, what happens is he lets these two fight with each other. Satkaryavada and Asatkaryavada. They say, so this is what is called Prathama Malla Nyaya. Just going into a little bit of technical knowledge used in Vedanta. Prathama Malla Nyaya means, so it's kind of like, so there are the analogies that in sports. So in sports, consider a tennis tournament, and in the other sport is not a sport. It's so cruel. Is boxing. Okay, so these are the two comparisons. So in the tennis, what happens is that you have 64 people, and they play with each other. 32 are left. They play with each other. 16 are left. Quarterfinals, then finals, semifinals, then the finals, and the two people, and the one person wins, and he's the champion. In boxing, this doesn't happen. So what happens is that in boxing there are various fights between two people, and if you are a champion, a heavyweight champion from before somewhere, like for example Muhammad Ali, is why he was so famous, that he came out of nowhere, and he had some technique and power which used to knock people down. And so now in the case of boxing, he doesn't have to fight with everyone. He says, okay, you guys all fight within yourself, and whoever wins at the very end, you try challenging me. And let me see if I even feel like that I should fight with you or not. So this is what is called Prathama Malla. Means that I am the best, and I'm waiting for someone else to challenge me. And if they are not good enough, then I'm not going to challenge them. Very similar to that is the Asatkaryavada, where Vedantin says he's not worth it. It's like, why do I fight with a child? And why should I bother him? It's not like I'm going around to primary schools and saying, I can beat all of you. It doesn't make any sense. So, but if someone has some argument which seems to challenge me, then I will take that on. So in this case, that is the Satkaryavadi. So, let me see how he proceeds. Okay. Now let us go into the logic of it. This is the fun part. Okay, so just follow this. Both the Asatkaryavadi, Satkaryavadi, then the Siddhanti, the Vedantins, all of that will come. So here is the example. Suppose we are examining a golden ring of some kind on the finger. And we now ask, is this a ring that was non-existent, or was it existent even before? So the Vaisheshikas, which is called Asatkaryavadi, says it was not there. It was not there. Not there. So there is a logical fallacy to this. Three of them are cited by Gaudapada Acharyaji, and it says, first of all, three of them. So one of them is Shruti. Shruti never says that anything was there before. Shruti means that our scriptures, which well thought through with lot of wisdom over the years, which has derived from Ishvara's own vision, and it says they don't say that it was there before. So this is number one. Then you say, well, I don't care what the Shruti says, I want the logic for it. Okay? Let's look at the logic. First of all, even logically, the ring was not there. Was not there. And if you say, for example, that it was there, but now it has arrived, that technically means there is a certain weight of gold, weight number one, plus a ring weight. It should be added because it was not there, now it is there. Don't touch the gold. That hasn't changed at all. But if you think that something came out of nothing, then it must have added to the weight of the gold, but it hasn't. In fact, it subtracts it. You take the ring out and the rest of the gold weighs less. So from a standpoint of yukti and pratyaksha, it doesn't make any sense. Okay? Now, even from the standpoint of language, not logic. The third one is that it doesn't make sense even from a logic. I keep saying logic. Language. How doesn't it make sense from a language standpoint? Here why. Because a sentence means a subject and an object. You know, like you say, my friend John came to San Francisco. So your friend John is the subject and something happened to him and he came to San Francisco. So now, if you say that the ring was not there, even the sentence which says the ring has come, which ring are you talking about? You said it was not there. So even the subject is not there. This is what would be called a language fallacy. So for these reasons, we don't really take them very seriously. And Sankhya takes care of them. He fights them and he knocks him out. This is the one. Now comes the Sankhya, which is Satkaryavada, also called Parinamavada. Parinamavada means that it used to be in one condition, now it's in a different condition. And so the classical example is a milk becoming a yogurt. So the Sankhya's main contention is it was there, the ring was there, but in a different form. It has simply changed its form. That's all that has happened. There is nothing else that has happened. It was already there and now it appears in a different form. This being the case, we ask, so what form was the world in? So leaving the ring example, now we're coming back to the world. So we see the world as a karya, as an effect. We see something going on. Something is there. The question is, was it not there before? As the Vaisheshikas say, and the old-time classical science also says that. The modern science is starting to change. So they are actually thinking more in terms of Satkaryavada. But the classical science was that something came out of nothing. Okay? So now let's go back to the example of the world. In the world, the Satkaryavada says that the world came out of, so we ask, out of what? They say Prakriti, nature. So nature, Prakriti is the Karanam and the Jagat is the Karyam. So this is a transformation, kind of like an evolution. It's like the ring being formed. It was there before, but not in this form. So, this is what the Sankhyas say. So, in verses number 11, 12, and 13, the refutation of the Satkaryavada is now taken up. Okay, so if you look at 11, 12, and 13, we take that up. And again, now, even though we've already chanted number 11, 12, and 13, I'm just going to give you a composite view of this. And going forward, I think the composite view will take over. We won't go through verse by verse, as I promised in the very beginning, because of the timing and so on and so forth. Okay, so the Satkaryavada, the Sankhya means the Kapila Muni is the one who did not accept the Vedantic view. And this is the very fun, interesting part of it, that many of these rishis like Kapila and all the other ones, yoga system and so on and so forth, they're very smart people. They're very, very smart, very intelligent people. But for some reason, they had a little bit of a problem with the Vedantic view. And so they changed it. Same thing on Vishishta Advaita Ramanujan. I would say the same thing with the Sikhism. So in the Sikhs, Guru Nanak and so on, I don't know the exact history of how it took place, even though I belong to that area. I'm from Amritsar, which is the Mecca of Sikhism. I was born there. Very happy to be born there, but I was a Hindu, and so I never really bothered much about Sikhism. Sikhism is the same way. They have made it into a completely separate religion, different practices and so on. It's all based on Vedas. Everything is based on Vedas. They had some problem with it, which is the caste system they didn't like very much, and which is good from a social standpoint. They said we will do away with all the castes. That part of Hinduism we don't like. Good, that's wonderful. Problem is that even Sikhs have castes. They have, anyway, we will tackle this in the Purusha Suktam, so I won't go into a lot of details. You need all the classes to make society work. If you have some unusual way of dealing with people, that's your problem, not mine, Ishvara says. But we need these classes. So anyway, Sikhism also is really nothing but Vedanta alone, really. All of them are just, but with some twists that completely changes things. Anyway, so this is the Sankhya I was talking about. So the Sankhya say that the Jagat came from Prakriti. So now, starting with verse number 11, 12 and 13, we ask them and dismantle this in several stages. First, we have four fallacies that we examine. Fallacy number 1, which is given in verse number 11, we ask, what is the nature of Prakriti? You say that Prakriti is the mool karanam, mula karanam. Mula karanam means the fundamental cause of the whole world. Where did it come from? We ask. Pray tell us. So they say it didn't come from anywhere. It has always been there. Then we ask, can it be destroyed? So they say no, it cannot be destroyed because it is needed for more creations later on. Because after the Pralaya, in Pralaya all the creations are gone, but then a new Pralaya is born when Brahmaji wakes up after 50 million years. So there's day is 50 million, night is 50 million. So after his long night is over, the day starts again. Prakriti is needed for that. So it is never really destroyed. Okay. So according to them, this Prakriti is Anadi. Anadi means it always been there. It is Anantam and Nityam. Means that it permeates the whole universe. This is Prakriti. It's not talking about Atma. Okay? But similar, the saying the Prakriti means that some way of creation. That means laws, some forms. All of this is called Prakriti, nature. That nature is Anadi, Anantam and Nityam. Nityam means that you cannot destroy it, it's always there. So then we say, this is not logical, because you cannot say it does something to create. So that means it is vikaram. There is some change that happens. Because in Vedanta, we say that the Atma, without making any change, it appears to change. Like the snake changes, but the rope doesn't change. You ask the rope, why did you change? He says, what are you talking about? But in this case, the changing is called Nityam. This is a Vyaghata. Vyaghata means that you are saying the black is white, night is day. You decide one or the other. You cannot have both of them. So this is a first logical fallacy. Then we go to the next fallacy, which is given in verse number 12. Then we ask, you are saying that it is the same thing in two different forms. It really, like, if you look at the molecules of milk and the molecules of curd, yogurt, they'll be pretty much the same. I think they will be, I don't know what the difference would be. Molecules may be different, but the atoms are the same. In any case, what the Sankhya says that Karya and Karana are the same. Just a different form, that's all, but they're exactly the same thing. So we say, okay, we understand it. Like, supposing there is water that turns into ice. Now, it's very interesting. This is a good example. So the water has no form, and the ice has a form. And the ice has a form. It's not as though it came out from something else. The water itself becomes formful, but it never really became formful because it will melt back into water. Okay, we get that. That's just fine. So the point is, you say that Karya and Karanam are the same. They say, yep, they are the same. Just a different way of looking at it. Now you say Karanam is Nityam. You say, yep, Karanam is Nityam. Karanam is Anadi. Yep. Karana is Anantam. Yes. And if Karyam is the same as Karanam, then Karyam must be also Nityam. Oh, no, the Karyam is not Nityam. Anantam? No, it's not Anantam. Is it Anadi? No, it's not Anadi. Because it was born at some point, because they are all these vadis, they feel that there is some kind of a birth. So now we say, wait a second. You cannot say that both Karanam and Karyam are the same, and yet you ascribe different gunas to both of them. That doesn't make any sense. This is fallacy number 2. Then the fallacy number 3 and 4 are both included in verse number 13. So fallacy number 3 is, this is an important thing, whenever logic is used, an example is necessary to prove it. So a logical construct is meaningless unless you can illustrate it with an example. This will come up in our Panchadashi class on happiness quite a bit. We'll go into some more detail into it. Swami Vidyaranya really takes this to heart very well. Anyway, so the main foundation of logic is when you say something, you have to say some example. So, for instance, when you say that there is fire, when there is smoke, when you say there is fire when there is a smoke, it comes from your personal example. You know from your example, and when you grow up, you may not know it when you are a child, but when you grow up, you find that blackness in the smoke means fire. It is not just steam. And so based on that example, you can now go somewhere and you see black smoke, so you attribute fire to it. So this is the one. So we say, where is the example that Prakriti is a Karana? Well, that means really that it must have been a Karyam. Karana means that it has some form. It may not have the same degree of form as the Karyam, but you cannot have, it is something, it is not Nirvikaram, as we saw earlier that it is Nityam, Nirvikaram, etc. It cannot be. It has to have something in there. So that means there must have been a Karanam before that. It is a Karyam. And so it cannot be Anadi. It must have started somewhere. So it is not Anadi. This is fallacy number 3. And number 4, which is an adjunct to this, is that you cannot say that Prakriti is the Mula Karanam. It must have had some other Karanam before that, and so it is not the Mula Karanam. And it is not true. So what the conclusion of all this is, all theories of creation are wrong. And you will see this very interesting. We will even say that the topic of creation in Vedas is also just a scaffolding. There is no reality to it. There is no real creation. This is what we have to see as students. That it appears, but it is not there. It never was created. It's like a dream. Which is what Mandukya has been saying. It's all consistent. So now in verses 14 through 23. 14 to 23. Okay, so I'm summarizing what 14 to 23 is going to do. So, this format of following the Adhyaropa Apavada. Adhyaropa means a superimposition, and Apavada means it is dismantled. First you, like scaffolding, which you put it up, you do something, and then you dismantle it. And so this is a good example. The scaffolding is a very good example because it's like, I would say this, interesting, that forget about the construction of the building. Suppose you want to take a photograph of some kind of a window. Photograph of a window from outside, very high up, a church. One of those colored, when you go to these Christian churches, they have these beautiful windows with colorful glass and so on and so forth, the Christ showing. And some of these churches are way up high. And suppose somebody is trying to take a picture of that for a picture book. You cannot do it without constructing a scaffolding. So what you do is you put a scaffolding up to take a picture. Now the picture is the main thing, then you dismantle the scaffolding. So very similar to that is the sense of creation, which is a scaffolding. And you highlight the fact that there is no creation. And then the scaffolding of creation is dismantled. This is the trend of Gaudapadaji's teaching. We should understand this. So this is what is called Adhyaropa Apavada. So Adhyaropa means, so understand this Adhyaropa Apavada. Adhyaropa means superimposition. Superimposition means there is a creation of some sort. In this stage of the thinking, as Swami Paramarthananda has pointed out in some other books, that the Ashtavakra Gita is a very good book where he's made this very clear. There is a triangular format. We really understand this very well in the context of what we are studying. So in the Adhyaropa Kala, in the time of the Adhyaropa, the Apavada has not yet taken place. So at the Adhyaropa Kala, there is a triangular format. The triangular means Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara. There is a creator, creation, and I am part of the creation, but I am trying to understand. This is the triangular. This is where the creation comes in, how it is done, etc., etc. This is the Adhyaropa stage. This is the scaffolding stage. Then comes the Apavada. And the Apavada comes in when Ishvara and the Jiva are essentially the same. And there is no Jagat whatsoever. The Jagat, which was never there, is now understood not to be there. So this is the Apavada stage. Okay? So this being the case, so this is how the sadhana. So the sadhana initially relies on Ishvara. And in the answer to the question from one of the students in the other class, who asked, what should my prayer to Ishvara be? And so the prayer to Ishvara should be not at the Adhyaropa stage, but in the Apavada stage. The Adhyaropa stage is that please help me, make sure that coronavirus doesn't attack me and also my own family. It doesn't attack anybody, that's wonderful, but especially not my family. That keep everybody, this is the my and me also. This is the Adhyaropa stage. This is the prayer. The real prayer should be, please help me to understand that the coronavirus cannot touch me. I am birthless, I am deathless, which is who you are. Make sure that you and I have the same identity. Make sure, and which is true even now, but I don't quite get it. Help me get it. This is the Apavada stage. So here, Gaudapada ji is very he's tough. He's very tough. He's calling a spade like spade. He doesn't say no, it's okay, do this and so on and so forth. He says no. So for example, he says Brahman cannot be the cause of creation. You know, Vedas often say Brahman is the cause of creation. And so this is why the Karika is so highly regarded, because he takes no prisoners. He says no. And this distinction between scaffolding and non-scaffolding has to be clear, because if a person is not knowledgeable means it doesn't come from a personal experience that this is the way it is. It's no Jagat. The Jivan Mukta. If you're not a Jivan Mukta and you're writing a book, Brahman is the cause, yeah, he's all there. And no, absolutely not. Because if Brahman is the cause, then he has to undergo some change. Like the Sankhyas say. We say no, absolutely not. Asat Karyavada, he doesn't bother. Because matter and energy can never be created or destroyed. Even in ordinary science, so that E is equal to mc squared is a testimony of that. That the same thing either becomes energy or it becomes matter. There's no change whatsoever. And so, let me just refresh my point that I want to make. So going back to the essence of 14 through 23, we are 9, 10. Okay. I hope we can complete it. I'd like to complete it. Let's see. Let us see. So, a new topic in 14 to 23. And the topic is based on our logic on Satkaryavada and Asatkaryavada, dismantling them and so on. Now let us see how even our interpretation of our own scriptures should be. This is the main thing. Okay. As I said before, the Gaudapada's view is, not Gaudapada's view, this is the Sampradayic view. This is the Sampradaya, revived by Gaudapada, admittedly, and then extremely well done by Adi Shankara, his Shishya's Shishya, two stages down. But this is the view. is that Brahman cannot be the cause, as I mentioned before. So now a view is examined which can be called Karma Karyavada. So just look at this. This is a new topic on 14 to 23. Karma Karyavada. A little bit like Sankhya, where instead of Prakriti, which is an independent nature, because that one we rejected long time ago, because what Sankhya says there are two independent things. There is the Atma, which is non-changing, like us, and there is Prakriti, which is responsible for this problem, and the Prakriti will always be there, Atma will always be there, two are on the same level. We say no. You cannot have two people on the same level. It's like having a devil that is creating problems. No. There's no devil, it's all part of the same thing altogether. So here, the examination of verse number 14 to 23, it is what called Karma Karyavada. Karma Karyavada means, like Prakriti, our karmas are propagating our sense of the universe. Okay, so this is what it is said. I'm looking to see if there's any problem or anything. That's why I'm keeping it on. Anyway, so the question is, we say there is a contention that Brahman does not create the world, but Brahman with Maya Shakti creates the world. Let me shut it off, sorry. Brahman with the Maya Shakti creates the world. So now this is all examined logically. So if you say that Brahman is not the cause, but Brahman with Maya Shakti. So here this is the equation. Brahman plus Maya Shakti equals Ishvara. So Maya Shakti means that there is a shadow of Ishvara, it's shadow of Brahman, which is not there, but it appears to be there. This is the Maya Shakti. So Ishvara has the power to create, and he does. So this can be a contention within the Vedantic system. So here, question is, so the main contention here is karma. This is called Karma Karyavada. So let's examine karma. Karma means, when did it start? When did it start? This is a very good question that all of us should think about, really, and you already have, I'm sure. And so we'll go into this. It's very interesting. So the question is, did Ishvara created karmas? And if so, there is a lot of diversity in karma. Some jivas are born as plants, some are born as animals, some people are born as human beings, some people are born poor, etc. We know all that. Huge differences. So is he partial? Is he just saying, okay, I'm just going to make these people very unhappy, these people happy? It doesn't fit our concept of Ishvara. That cannot be. So if our punya and papas, karmas, are not created by Ishvara, were they created? How were they created? So what Vedanta says is that really it is the jivas themselves from their previous punya and papa that are creating problems in our life, and based on what we do, the next life would also be determined based on, so it's a continuum. It's exactly what it is. If that is the case, when was I starting to do the karma? Is it that Ishvara gave everybody the same body, and then because of the diversity it all became different? Because what was the reason for the diversity to come about to begin with? That doesn't make any sense at all. So you have to reject that theory also. You have to reject the theory that Ishvara created karma, and you have to reject the theory that jivas created karma, because obviously what happens is sharira is born, body is born, then we do different karmas, and from that time punya and papa are born. That gives rise back to another sharira, and then go back to so this kind of a thing goes on. Okay, and so the law of karma also cannot explain creation. So the end result is it never came. It is just an experience and an appearance. You cannot give any chronological steps of the creation. So now, systematically in the verse number 14 through 23, which you can study if you want to, absolutely, but for our purposes we're going to take it conceptually. Gaudapada gives 6 reasons why the creation of karma doesn't make any sense, and 4 of them are pretty easy. The last 2 are more serious, and we will look at that later. So here's the list of the 6 fallacies of the karma theory. Number 1, karma is the cause and the body is a result. And the body here is not just my own personal body, but the body of the entire creation, Virat. So the Virat came because of certain stored tendencies of the previous karma. So because we have both individual karmas and collective karmas, So for instance, supposing there is a airplane crash, and all of the occupants of it are killed. So then the question is, whose karma was it? Was it a one person's karma or the collective karma? Hard to tell, but you can argue either way. Generally saying that the collective karma was more important because somehow those people got into the plane and all of them crashed. Anyway, that's a separate thing. But here, the first argument is that karma is the mool karanam and the body came later. The second one is the shariram is the mool karanam. The body is the mool karanam because you cannot do karma until you have a body. So body is the moola karanam and karma is subsequent to that. The third contention is both of them are simultaneous. Like when a cow is born, there are 2 horns of the cow that are born simultaneously, left hand and the right hand. And the left hand and the right hand are not cause and effect, they are simultaneous. So maybe the karma and bodies are simultaneous. The fourth one is they are mutually dependent. Karma is born from Sharira and Sharira is born from karma. This just is mutually dependent. This is number 4. Number 5 is the same thing as 4, but this has a long series that never really ends, goes on and on. So trees are born, then they give rise to seeds, then the seeds give rise to more trees, like that. And the last one is that the karma and sharira series is anadi, means that it has always been there. These are the 6. So here, in the time that we have, we will just briefly look at the first 4, and in the next class we will examine the more serious contention of number 5 and 6. Okay? So, first of all, karma first. This is rejected because, again, the same thing. You cannot, you need a body before you have karma. Ishvara cannot start it because otherwise he will be very partial. And also another thing, this is an important thing to see, a body by itself cannot create punya papa because the body is inert. An inert thing cannot create a live thing. Important thing to see. So the body by itself is not a cause of karma. The first one is rejected. Number 2, sharira first. So there we say exactly what we said before, that Ishvara has given everybody the same body and the clock starts. The race goes. Okay, everyone is given like assemble on the line, and then you say start. And some people are stronger, some people are faster, some people are slower, and then it gets stratified over time. And then the question is, what kind of a body is he going to give? When everybody is given the same body in this contention, what is that body that he gives? Is it based on karma? Because otherwise, if he's not partial, he has to be based on something. No, that doesn't make any sense. So this doesn't apply at all. Simultaneously, because otherwise, the very well-known, accepted cause and effect relationship falls down. So the left horn of the cow and the right horn of the cow are not cause and effect. They're both born simultaneously, independently. No, doesn't make any sense. And number 4, which is mutual. One gives rise to the other one gives rise to this. Doesn't make any sense, because otherwise that will happen is that the father would be born from the son. Doesn't make any sense whatsoever. This is going to continue in the next class, but please remember that the end game is that this is what is called anirvachaniya. Anirvachaniya means you cannot say that the world started. You cannot say that the Maya started this. You cannot say anything except the fact that it doesn't exist. It is very much like someone who was really scared about seeing a snake in the rope and wants to do a PhD on how I saw a snake. When did it really start? Why didn't somebody else see it? Why did I see it? And how did my molecules of my mind start giving me the vision of the snake? Did I see a snake before? Yes, probably. What kind? And this is exactly the same thing is true of the analysis of the dream. So the Freudian an example of examining this is a big fetish of some people to examine the dream. Hey, the main thing is that it doesn't exist. That's what you should be seeing. No, I don't want to see that, but the question is the content of it, the form of it, the process of it, the transformation of it. This is what I'm interested in. Okay, fine, do it. So here the same thing will happen with karma. No, I want to know what is my karma. How did I, it's like asking two things these stories go along. They were a husband and wife, and both were attacked by coronavirus, and one of them died and the other one survived. And what is the reason for it? So you keep looking at some reasons and so on and so forth, and examining it. And so it doesn't make any sense. In the end, it doesn't make any sense because there is a better sense that you should be examining. You see, you cannot end it in the void and saying that because you cannot analyzing it, you cannot analyze it, so you admit defeat. That's not the point. If we cannot analyze a snake, the main thing is that it doesn't exist. It has to be seen as something which doesn't exist. That is the end point. Anyway, this is the thinking behind the Karika. Very beautifully done in the fourth one with logic and so on and so forth. So we will continue with that as we go forward. Okay. Om Swasti Prajabhyah Paripalayantam Nyayena Margena Mahim Mahishah Go Brahmanebhyah Shubhamastu Nityam Loka Samastha Sukhino Bhavantu Kale Varshatu Parjanya Prithvi Sasya Shalini Desho Yam Kshobarahitaha Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah Sarve Santu Niramayaha Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukkha Bhag Bhavet Asato Ma Satkamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityor Ma Amritam Gamaya Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om. Okay. Madav Purnamidam Purn. Is there any questions from anyone? Doesn't appear to have any questions on this chat window, but I will, Gajananam. He says, could you explain the linguistic fallacy of the Vaisheshika view? Yeah, so Gajananam, what we were saying was that the Vaisheshika view is that the Karana did not exist and it became a Karya. So when you say something became a Karya, you have to have something as the subject before you say, before the sentence makes sense. It is like saying, I'll just make a dramatic view of that. It's like saying, came to San Francisco. So somebody will say, what? So can you please repeat that? And say, came to San Francisco. People say, are you mad? Who came to San Francisco? Okay, I'll tell you who came to San Francisco. So means nothingness came to San Francisco. So this is linguistically also you cannot make a sentence like this. You will say that the non-ring means it's not there. So linguistically they say it doesn't make any sense. Akshay says, amazing logic to explain just one word, the Prapancha Upashamaha of the 7th sloka of the Upanishad. Yes, exactly. Prapancha Upashamaha, which is in the Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad. This is exactly what Karika is explaining. Yes, very much true. Any other questions? Yeah, I was trying to figure out how long will this chapter take to finish before we begin Brahma Sutras. So at this point I don't really have any I have to maybe spend some time, because I have to start the drafting of the people for the Brahma Sutra class. It takes some time. What I'd basically like to do is to have a one-on-one with the existing people, just a one-on-one through emails may be sufficient, but for new people, which I hope there are not too many, I would like to have a telephone conversation with them before we draft people for the Brahma Sutra. And so that will take some time. So I think that I need to get on with it and to estimate how long this will take. So I haven't done that yet. I have to review some of the notes from Swami Paramarthananda and then based on that make a guess. So we will see how that would be. But my thinking is it shouldn't be more than 10-12 classes, even less than that. So that's kind of like the timetable I'm looking at. Akshay makes this point. The reason why this is supra-rational thinking is that it is Ishvara present to us. It goes beyond just logic. Yeah, true. Okay, with that I take your leave before I start my next class in a few minutes. So thank you all. Bye-bye.